last week's herb of black walnut, one of its great companions is cloves. Cloves are an incredible herb. They actually are one of the best herbs for getting rid of parasites. They actually will kill off the eggs of parasites, which is so important because, ultimately you can have a bunch of parasites and you kill the parasites, but if there's still eggs around, then those eggs hatch and you get another infestation of parasites. So cloves are a really, really important one. They're used a lot in Asian cultures, especially in India. In fact, there's a tea I learned about using cloves, cinnamon, cardamom, ginger, and black pepper. Those 5 herbs, actually called yogi tea, very well known in the yoga world, especially Kundalini yoga world. And that combination of 5 herbs is superb, for helping to prevent flus, for stimulating and boosting the immune system, and great kind of tea to take throughout the flu season and cold season. And basically, if you want to make it yourself, the proportions for 1 cup are 3 cloves, 3 fresh cloves. Get your tongue around that one. A stick of cinnamon that's about, a good stick of cinnamon is about 1 inch to 1.5 inches long. A nice big thick stick of cinnamon, about 1 to 1.5 inches long. 4 cardamom pods. You need to split them open a little bit. Those little green cardamom pods. 4 black pepper cloves, and a piece of fresh ginger that's about, normally ginger root, when you cut it, it comes out in little circular slices. So if the slice of ginger for 1 cup is about, let's say, 1/3 of an inch in thickness, the diameter, of course, varies depending on the root that you get. So those are the 4. You throw them in a cup of water. Now, this is the measurement for one cup of water. Of course, you just double up for 2, triple up for 3, according to the ingredients you put in. Bring it to a boil, and then simmer it for about 15 minutes. So it's like a decoction is the herbal term there, when you boil something for about 15 minutes. And then, if you like, you can add a little green tea, and let it steep a little more, and then add maybe some rice milk or oat milk with it. That's unless you can get, raw milk, dairy milk, and you're still into dairy. I mean, after last week's show and everything we learned about that, my sense is, if you can stay away from dairy, it's better. But if you are going to do any dairy, make sure it's raw milk, because that is definitely the best source, because it still has enzymes in it that will enable you to actually digest it to a certain extent. Okay? So there we go with cloves, one of the ingredients of the yogi tea, which is super great. Cloves are actually antiseptic. They're an anodyne, meaning they actually help to combat pain. If you have a toothache, a clove can actually be placed in that tooth area where you may, need a filling or something like that, and you can hold it there, and it will numb the nerve until you can get dental care. So it's a great little thing to keep around. Keep a little pot full of cloves. You can either use the clove itself or a little drop of clove oil in that area too. It's great for digestion too. A lot of times in the winter time, one of the reasons why we get colds is because our digestion slows down, and it allows bacteria and viruses to grow that wouldn't normally stay around long enough. Okay? It helps with gas. It increases, sweating. So if you've got cold, flu, fevers, it will help with that too. And just a really great herb to have around. And then, of course, I said it was challenging to choose the herbs in here for the letter C, but pretty much hands down, I could not leave out the herb cayenne. Okay, cayenne pepper is, wow, amazing. I mean, what it can do for the body. If you take cayenne pepper tincture or the powder, and you have a cut, that's oozing blood, If you'll put the cayenne pepper tincture on there, or just the powder, it will dry up the blood. Okay, so it's basically it helps clot the blood, and that's obviously very important if you cut yourself. Now, one of the really interesting things about cayenne pepper is that if you are cut and you're bleeding, you think, well, great, it'll stop the blood. Well, then when I turn around and say to you, but, you know, if you take it internally, it will increase the blood flow. Isn't that amazing that one herb can do both things, but both to do with the circulatory system? And cayenne pepper is red and tubular, kind of like the arteries, all right? So very interesting how nature gives us signals there. And it will literally clean out your arteries, increase blood flow, and I recommend that you keep a bottle of cayenne pepper tincture on hand with you at all times. If you'll take this cayenne pepper, sprinkle a little on your food, take a little in water or juice every day, it will help keep your circulatory system in tip-top shape. I personally, if I ever get cloudy vision, I'll take a little bit of cayenne pepper along with eyebright and a few other herbs and make a tea out of them, and I'll actually wash my eyes with it. Now, it sounds pretty drastic, right? I only put like 1 drop of cayenne pepper tincture in there, but it actually stimulates the whole area around the eyes to dump toxins. Normally, when I do this, like within a few minutes, there's a whole bunch of, you know, we talk about sleep around our eyes, you know, when that crusty stuff when you wake up in the morning. Well, a bunch of that stuff will come out after you do that cayenne pepper wash for your eyes. Again, it's primarily eyebright, a little red raspberry leaf, and a couple of other herbs along with the cayenne pepper. This is a formula from Dr. John Christopher, one of the paramount herbalists of the 20th century, who was actually hounded for healing people back in the 40s and 50s. So, great deal of wisdom from that man, one of the greatest herbalists ever. But he put together an eyebright formula, which is actually available through a company called Nature's Way. And you have to just make sure it's the one that has cayenne in it. And you'll empty a capsule for a cup of boiling water and then filter it through cheesecloth and use that in your little eye cup. Now, there are some formulas out there now that don't have the cayenne, so check, be sure. If not, add a little cayenne pepper. Be sure to filter it through cheesecloth or muslin cloth, because it will basically make it possible for you to clean out your eyes. So that's another use for cayenne pepper. We don't really have time to deal with much more on cayenne pepper today. It's just such a master herb. And the cayenne pepper is one of the tinctures in our herbal emergency supply kit from Enter Health Botanicals. You can go to enterfood.com, click on herbal supplements, and look for the herbal emergency kit. Okay, basically herbal essentials kit, and that actually has a bunch of different herbal tinctures, one of which is cayenne, so it helps you be prepared. Comes with a free ebook, so highly recommend that you keep that on hand to keep yourself healthy and to have stuff in case of emergencies. It has pretty much not everything you need, but mostly everything you'll need in case of emergencies for many different conditions. Okay, that's the Herbal Essentials pack. So that's cayenne pepper. Really, I think if I had to choose one herb to never be without, it would probably be cayenne pepper.